That looks spicy. Ooh, it's spicy. Yeah. Harry dog, how are you? You're eating pad thai. You can see it? I'll shoot. Okay. Give me 1 second. Pad thai and water. Ruffalo, how are you doing? Food, yep. How's everything? How's work? That's good. How was your weekend? How's your project? Oh, you went to Fry's? Oh, that data migration? Oh, you're looking at new computer parts? Yeah, right now I'm responsible to for this, big data migration. So I've been extremely busy, and I'm working with a bunch of people who I'm not talking about the technical side of it, but the business side who have no idea of, you know, how to manage that, data migration. So it's a so I was assigned. I mean, I was technically not. It was technically not uh, my task, but because the PM who was there before me, yeah, completely like, as you know. So I was tasked. I was assigned. So now I'm basically like working on the data migration plan, and like meeting with the technical lead, and like getting, and it's just not a big deal. It's like taking one data from one database with every as is and moving it to another database, and that's pretty much it. But I mean, how the way it is, just have to go through, like the first iteration, and like before you can go live. So yeah, it's a big mess, pretty much. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So that's why I've been out of streaming. No, there's no major transformation actually, not at all. But the thing is, like, they wrote this, migration plan like they were designing something, when really, like, you're just taking the data as is and you just basically migrate it to another database, and that's it. So they're just basically are completely lost. So it's not major. However, they made it look like, it's going to be something, crazy, and everybody's basically completely, like, misinformed, or they're misunderstood. Yeah, I mean, like, I just, like, was looking at the table of risks, and I mean, dude, the freaking risks that we have that are like high impact, high probability, are just things because people didn't meet, didn't communicate with each other. So it could have been avoided just by, like, having meetings, and, I mean, it's just dumb shit. And we have to pay for it because obviously when you have a vendor working on your migration, like, you have to pay for stupidity. That's pretty much my thing, my intake on it. So yeah. So that's what I'm doing now. Yep. But it is what it is. Okay. Invalid. Oh, okay. I think I'm making a mistake here. I'm so, you know what? I think this should be Control V. No, 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 no. What am I doing? I have to create a variable tax, which should be on line 2, right? So tax equal 6.75%. So why is it not? Well, Code Academy so far is just, I didn't do anything. I've been just busy with work. So I'm just basically going back to it. Oh, actually, at your service, my lord. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Career change. Not yet. I'm trying to. I'm basically, I'm learning, as you can see. I'm learning Python. So trying. Yep. How are you doing? I'm an IT project manager. I manage actually engineers. I mean, IT teams. So thanks for the follow. What do you do? No, they don't get paid more actually. IT engineers, IT people get paid more because they are the subject matter experts. Oh, oh, you were forced to follow. Sorry about that. Yes, I actually set it up that if you want to talk to me, you have to follow me. Yeah, it's just because, like sometimes I have weirdos stopping by and just, like trolling you and then leaving. So I'm just basically giving an extra step to people. So if you don't want to follow me, just feel free to go back and unfollow me. That's okay too. Like I am not forcing anybody, but it's just a way of, like kind of, um, some people are just lazy, like to just click at the follow button, like, and, but just feel free to unfollow me. That's okay too. No, you should be, you're pretty much a millennium, right? I think you are. It depends of the IT project manager that you are. If you're a technical person, you're definitely technical. So, right, that's exactly what I'm explaining. If you're an engineer and you move to a management position, then you're a technical project manager. I am a project management is my expertise. So I'm not technical enough yet. So I'm not making the same amount of money as an engineer who's extremely technical and tries to become manager, because becoming manager, you just need to basically go take a cert, a PMP cert or agile cert, and you can be a manager with, 10, 15 years experience. So that's one way of, getting, like up and up. I'm already up. I just need to be more technical because I already have the project management, expertise. But if I can learn, like coding and become a web developer or even a developer, then yes, I become a subject matter expert. So therefore, I can basically raise my salary. I mean, I make a lot of money as a project manager already. Hello, Legacy Medics, how are you doing? So I'm okay, but like it's the stability is not the same, like if a company needs to get rid of people because of budget constraint or whatever, they're gonna get rid of their manager first. They're not gonna get rid of their SMEs. It just doesn't make any sense. The skill set is just different. So yeah. So you a student, what are you studying? What's your major? Legacy Medic, how are you doing? Have you eaten dinner yet? Oh, by 100, shit. What am I doing? Oh, I'm eating pad thai. Yep, I'm having dinner. So you ate a pizza? But at your service, my lord, I will give you an advice. I don't think you should be Googling everything. I think, like Google is not always, like the answer for everything. And there's a lot of information in Google that are not that really accurate, quite frankly, especially when it comes to salaries. Like to me, I feel like, you can basically, you can up your salary by being a very good negotiator. And it just depends also of the situation. There's companies that are looking for people and they're very desperate, like to hire someone, and they will basically settle with, a more higher rate than they will have love to. So I think, like you have to take advantage of, like whatever situation you are in at the moment. And trust me, I interview people, I see it. Some people, like they're very, very good. And sometimes some people you just cannot pass, like because they have the skill set that you need. And they know that. And they will play with that. They will basically ask for a higher rate that we're not willing to pay, but because we have that person with the right skill set. And I live in DC, so in DC, like your clearance, we all have clearances, and most of us have clearances. Um, I've seen, like kids, making 160 right off, uh, with 2 or 3 years experience on his resume. I'm not saying that this person, like was coding since then. I mean, he must have been coding for a long time because he probably learned at home or whatever. But I've seen, like people asking for 160K right off the bat, like that. But they had the skill set though. It's kind of difficult, like to say no when you know that that person has the skill set and ready, like, oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, it happens. Now you have also kids that don't know, they're underpaid. They don't know how to negotiate. They're just like, nerds. They're nerds. I mean, if you have like the right skill set with, like the right clearance, like, like that you don't have to get them through the clearance and all of that. I mean, you can easily start making like 130, 140. I mean, I'm not joking. Now, of course, if you get out of college with a computer science degree and you're getting hired by those big companies like Booz Allen, like Deloitte, whatever, they don't pay much. They will start you at probably 80, 90. But I think for a kid, like starting out of college, I mean, 80, 90, it's good. It's not bad at all. And then within a year or two, you can bump your salary to like 130, 140. So, and I'm talking DC, DC salaries. I don't know about the rest of the country, but DC salaries, that's pretty common. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it also depends of the level of your clearance. If you're top secret with CI, SCI full scope, then you pretty much, like you're pretty much getting, I mean, I will say that you will not even be the one looking for a job. People will be looking for you and offer you like all of those perks, like, salary plus, great benefits and, all of that. Because when they build the client, I think the billable rate at the client is between 250 and 300 something an hour. So they can give you six figures like easily. I mean, and they still make profit out of, no, what did Trump do? I don't think engineers. are really the problem because we stay very much technical. And quite frankly, like every time I interview, like a technical person, I always have a technical lead with me or subject matter expert that can ask the right questions to make sure that that person, like knows what he's doing. The last thing you want is hire somebody who doesn't know how to code or doesn't know how to do certain things. Most of the time they are okay. I mean, I think, like gigs get away with a lot of things compared to, I would say, business people. But I've seen people, like business people, like answering question, like being very general. I will give you like an advice. If you go to an interview, go straight, like you have to give them facts and you have to give them details. You have to be extremely detailed because when you're detailed about your experience, right off the bat, we know you know your shit. Period. That's it. You don't have to speak for like 20 minutes or you don't have to, provide long sentences, like long answers. But if you can provide one sentence and being as detailed as possible, that's pretty much, like, and basically, like I would say, stay humble. At the same time, stay extremely confident because confidence is very important. It shows if you're not confident. Even if you are competent, if you're not confident, we're going to still, like ask questions like, should we really hire this person? And how is this person going to behave in front of clients or stakeholders? I mean, clients slash stakeholders, whatever it is. So, well, yeah, I heard that. I heard that he was basically providing a lot of, classified information to Russia. And sometimes during interviews, people talk about their lives. Legacy means you changing your career. You should. No, I did law. I was not a PM either. This stuff is super spicy. What makes sense at your service? A lawyer? Why? And my person, oh really? Yeah, I did law from France. Crawford Doe left. You're saying that's because of the glasses? Oh. All right, so. Oh, yeah, I know. Well, it's gonna rain this weekend, I think. Apparently. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Oof. Oh, yeah, it's very spicy, actually. That's going to hurt on the way out. You're funny. So hold on. We saw in lesson 1 that we can reassign variables. For example, we can say spam equals 7, then later change our mind and say spam equals 3. Reassign meal on sign on line 7. So on line 7, reassign meal to the value of itself plus itself. And yes, you're allowed to assign a variable in terms of itself. Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget. We are only calculating the cost of meal and tax here. We'll get to the tip soon. So, okay, redog. Do I have to call it spam equal, or should I still keep the variable as it is? Because right now what we want is like the meal plus the tax. So it's meal equal. Okay, so we keep meal as it is. Okay. That's the same variable. So, okay, so, sorry, I'm just going to basically use my calculator. Right now, I don't feel like calculating anything. Oh, but hold on. Do I have to, just do the stuff as the variables. Okay, so I should do basically 44.50 plus Promisify. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you very much. How are you doing? We haven't talked for a long time. No numbers in line 7. So, okay, so you're saying that basically I should be doing meal plus uh, tax. No, I should be doing meal plus, yeah, exactly. I should be doing meal plus meal times tax, right? That's what the example gave me, right? So, yeah, exactly. Right. That's good. There you go. And then um, assign the variable total to the sum of meal plus meal on line 8. Okay, so total equal meal plus meal plus times tip. Right? Wow. I learned the badge. Yeah, 54.63. That's great. I really love Code Academy better than Code Combat, quite frankly. I have to quiz myself. Okay, let's check my knowledge and see how I do. Huh? What happened here? Did I miss something? I didn't even take the quiz. Should I cancel that thing? Hold on, what? Okay, what just happened here? No, I have to quiz myself to see if I grasped everything. Can I go back? There you go. Okay. What is Python? A reptile. That's funny. What is this variable equal to? Math var equal times a 3. Oh. Oh shit, I forgot. isn't it like three? Oh shoot, I forgot those like stars when you have two. Oh, it's an exponent. Yeah, exactly. Isn't it like 100 something? Like Redog or whoever who wants to help. 3 times. Okay. But now don't give me the answer. Don't give me the answer. Well, we just discussed it. So hold on. Haven't we done that? I feel like we did. Well, no, it was fine. It was 27. You got it right. What is the data type for the following false? Oh, string. There's quotes. Oh shit, I always get that wrong because of the quotes. So if it was without quotes, it would be a boolean. Is that correct? Is that correct? Oh, I see. Without quote and a capital F, it's boolean. But with quote is a string. Yeah, yeah. That's correct. It's good. I'm doing better than the first time. I'm 80%. The first time I remember I was 60% or something, 66 or something. So, good. Let's go to the next lesson. Huh. This pad thai is super spicy. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. In line 3. Print the value of pi is, okay. Oh, it's in line, okay. So we have to do, that's pi. Yeah, the str like method convert non-string into string, exactly. So I remember that you have to basically like, oh gosh, I don't remember if you have to do print and then, you know, do str and parenthesis. Let's see what it's going to do. I'm pretty much, yeah, I knew I was missing something. Isn't it equal? It's, oh, hold on. Yes, I'm not reading. Sorry. This will print, I have 2 coconuts. Okay. You're right. So let me, but was I doing it properly? Was that how the way you do it most of the time? Redog? Because the thing is like, I forgot, you know, like I call it formula, command. Oh, that's the next string. Okay. All right. So if I look at the instruction, if you look like print, quote, I have, quote, plus str, parenthesis 2 plus quote, coconuts, exclamation mark. Right. So basically, I'm printing here print, and right, I just have to wrap. Yeah, that's very true. So quote, you can read the blue instruction. Which blue instruction are you talking about? Oh, because of the, give me a second. I think I have to. Can you see it now better? Well, I can do this, you know, and then do this and this. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Can you see it? Oh, yeah, the instruction. Run the code as is. Into a string, then run the code. Yeah. You know what? I didn't see the instruction. Redog was trying to tell me something and I just didn't. No space? Oh. It took it though. So take a look at the code in the editor. What do you think it will do? Click save and submit when you think you know. String 1 equal Camelot, string 2 equal place. Print, let's not go to. Our Craftle though, you're back. I was wondering. Oh, I see. Okay. So, oh, how's the babies? Sorry guys, I'm eating dinner at the same time. Okay. String 1, I have Camelot. Ugh. String 2, I have place. Huh? Cute. Let's not go to Camelot. This a silly place. That's it? That's the only thing I needed to do. Really? Oh, well, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, it's getting complicated actually. Coding makes your brain hurt. Are you a coder? Yeah, I just have to basically add the percent sign with an S. No. What is that? Third color is, yeah, it's not like too big of an S here. Right? Hold on, let me see what what I'm missing here. So, huh. No, that's the thing. Yeah, see, like I think the S. Oh, there you go. You're right. You're right. Let's see what I'm fucking up here. Yeah, let me read that. This will print the nights. Okay. The final with the percents. Okay. Okay. No, it's still not good. So after the string, but before the three variables, replace the final with 8%. Do I? So that you think that's why? Oh, I see. What is your name? Yeah. But it's still like blue. What's going on here? I think it's stuck. Oh, really? Where? Hey, Electronico 14, toujours des Oh, its name. Oh, yeah, you're right. In the black screen? Oh, no need. Sorry. What is your quest? What happened here? Well, I did, but then it went green. I finished the section. I think it was just stuck. I have to write it wasn't stuck. Okay, do I have to go back? Okay, and we don't want to miss a vital point. So what should I do then? I click back, yeah. So let's redo it again. The thing is like here, it won't let me. Should I put this? Yeah. Oh, shoot. Okay, you don't need to see my face then. Hold on. Can you see it? That's okay. Now I'm gonna sound stupid because I don't know what quest means. What does that mean? Like, what do you mean what I'm doing? Like, oh, like what I'm doing right now. Okay. Okay. Doesn't want me to. This is very odd. Okay. It's stuck. It's very odd. I learned Python. You're right. Do I have to quote that? Do I have to put it in quote? Even my name though, right? Oh, no quotes. Okay. Now you know, let's see. What is your favorite color? Green. Okay. Print also your name is, your quest, your, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Okay, raw. Oh yeah, the raw input when I was doing hack ed. You're right, you're right. Oh yeah, the raw input. Right. It would? Okay. My string. All right. Yeah, you guys can see. You guys can see now. Yeah, I love green. Green is my favorite color, Crawford, though. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Crawford, though. There you go. Yeah, Redog is the best. He's a hacker. Probably change that too. Okay, so the length. Oh gosh, I don't remember. So you're just a JavaScript dev? Yeah, print my, right. So can I do print my length? No, print my variable dash point length, right? Uh, can I do that? With a, that's not it. Okay. Um, print my string. Right. That's very true. Print my string that len, and then print my string um, that upper, right? Yeah, everybody's telling me that. Yeah, everybody's telling me that you shouldn't be focusing on the commands. And for some reason, exactly, everybody says if you don't remember it, that's okay. You can always Google it. But for some reason, I always feel the need to memorize the command, like to be right. That's correct. So hold on. You close line 5, right, with a and then line 4 needs fixing. Okay, so print my string. Right. No, I agree. I agree. Okay, so line 4 needs fixing. What is it that I'm missing? Let me run this. Save and submit. Okay. Print my string. 5 Python line 5. Print my string. Syntax error. Invalid syntax. So you're saying that line 4 is the problem. But see, when I look at the error, invalid syntax, they're talking about line 5. What did I stuck? You're not supposed, oh, you're not supposed to put a dot at the end? That's what you're saying? Okay. Line 4 in model attribute errors. str object has no attribute len. That's probably why it's blue too. In the output, where you guys are. So you can basically do So here, print, quote, length of the string. This basically. That's correct, right? Like this. No. Okay, I'm confused. Yes, I Googled it, but then, okay, they're telling you here that length of the string in that's actually the string. And then, oh, okay. Oh, I see. All right. Yeah. So basically what I have to put is this. Right? I don't deserve this badge. I don't. Right, you're right. See, I said Crofaldo is nice. IV3, yes, that's Code Academy. How are you doing? How's guys doing? I what? Yeah, I know. It's just that. What time is it right now? It's 9:39. I am exhausted today, so I'm just gonna basically chat for 5 minutes and then I'm gonna go. I have things to do. Ivy, what kind of promotion did you got? Did you get? This pad thai is freaking spicy. It's super spicy. I look like a hot mess lately. Look at that. I just can't finish it. I'm just like, I'm done. I ate too much. Oh, good. But at least you got promoted. It's actually very good. I really, really love this place. I think they have the best pad thai, quite frankly, and I like spicy food. But, you know, it was a little bit too spicy. So when it's too spicy, it's not, you know, when you're hungry, yes, you eat it. But then, you know, like you kind of get, you know, like. So how, guys, how's everything? So Crawford, though, how's your project going? No, it's not food coma, but then you get like a stomach ache. And I'm passing the details, you know, like I'm not. I want to see it. You should. Definitely. I definitely should do that. Oh, cool. Let's see. Oh, I have all of you guys. Craft boat, promisified. Let's see. Nice car. React tutorial. Wish it was yours. One day you'll get something like that. Why not? Who was yelling at you, Redog? Really? How dare they yell at you? What did they say to you? Did they curse at you? Old stories? Old story? Let me see that. Need to see that. Do you have comments? Holy shit. All of this is Python? No, it's not, right? Oh, that's Node. That's JavaScript? Huh, remember vSphere. Ivy. What should I say? What should I say when I'm talking to those gigs? Isn't it amazing what they know? I think you guys are amazing. Yes, Ivy. Look, I might not be good at coding. However, project management is my expertise. That's what I'm senior at. I can manage a project from A to Z and manage it successfully. It doesn't matter how challenging it is. Oh, I love gigs. I consider myself being a gig too. Trust me. A nerd, a gig, you guys are the best. There's nothing wrong with being a gig. Nothing wrong. LOL, money, money, LOL. That's not true. I know, Coffle though. LOL, money, money, LOL. I don't boss people around. I make their life easier. Let's put it this way. I go to them, I'm like, what kind of obstacles do you have? I'll take care of it. Just focus on your job. Well, I think Crawford though is the one who mentioned that song, if I remember. It wasn't you? Camus. But I don't even know where that guy is anymore. He doesn't show up. However, you missed the weirdo from yesterday. You know that polite guy who comes to me and always asks if he can troll me? Like that dude, like I think you were there when I had this troll coming in. I think. Oh, Camus? I have no clue. I'm pretty sure he will show up eventually one night. He will just stop by and be like, hey, yeah. He came back yesterday. And, always very polite. Always, like, he's like, well, can I try? Can I troll you? I gave him permission this time. He was so nice asking permission, and I said, go ahead, and he didn't do anything. I think Ivy mentioned that he had cold feet because he probably didn't expect me to say, yes, go ahead. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I said. He's very polite. He always asks. So, but no, Camus, I don't know where he is. And I don't think Camus is the one who mentioned it, actually. I don't think it was him. I don't remember who Basic mentioned that song. You didn't go live this weekend, Crawford, though? I don't think I received a notification of you going live. Um, I tried this streaming like this. Let's listen to Tico. Who is Tico? Tycho? Tycho? Oh, Nutcats, how are you doing? Well, I am going to, yeah, I went to New York for a business trip. Oh, it's a band. The thing is, like, I export my videos on YouTube and I don't want to have any copyrights or anything like that. YouTube are kind of anal when it comes to things like this. So all of my music is non-copyright. But I was saying, Crawford, though, that I streamed and I have a video. I think it was just a waste of time. Because quite frankly, who wants to stream someone who is sitting in the car doing nothing. I mean, if you go places, yes, you can, but if you're not, I'm planning a vacation to Bali and Hong Kong. So that I think would be nice to stream live. I just don't know too much about Hong Kong. West Cal Wabbit eat a banana. I don't have any bananas. And no, even if you propose one, I don't feel like eating a banana. Yeah. Um, Bali and Hong Kong is, yeah, I mean, I've been to Beijing, but, I really, really want to visit Hong Kong. And Bali, I mean, I heard it's beautiful. So if I'm going to take that plane to go to Asia, I need to at least, like see 2 or 3 countries. I just can't go to one country in Asia. No, I think, I'm good. Like I think, like even popsicles, I am on diet, so I shouldn't be eating popsicles. Sorry. Nutcats, I know you like ice cream. I know you do. Do you want me to, I can ask my followers to pay me a penny each. I can buy you ice cream. A ghost is now following. Yeah. IV3, thank you very much. That's true. They have specific websites for that. See how kind I am with you, Napcats? You know what? You missed the coding session. Were you around when I was coding? This is what I'm going to do because lately I've been tasked in this big, gigantic data migration at work. Oh, you did? So I am just, guys, I'm just exhausted. Python, that's the language we are, that's the language I'm using. I'm trying to learn. So anyway, long story short, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, no, Saturdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Because the rest of my time, I also have to work from home, like focus on work and stuff. So I have a lot on my plate right now. I was not supposed to be assigned this type of work, but I would say that my first language was more Swift. I was learning Swift using Swift. What was the name of it? Was Swift. Oh, Redog, yes, please. Yes, I forgot to tell you. Yes, please change my change the panel. That would be great. Great. Yes, I know I've been bad lately with my streaming, and listen, I know, but stuff happened at work, and the PM that was assigned is, yes, it's Apple. Swift is Apple. So the PM who was assigned for that big data migration kind of failed. So it basically, just overlapped. I mean, it came on my, I mean, I basically assigned to it. Now I'm responsible for it. So, and I am exhausted, quite frankly. Yeah, and I haven't been good at keeping, like my schedule, like, the first week when I started streaming. I was fine. I was good with it. But then, like I said, I had the business trip in New York, and then Saturday was pouring in New York, pouring. Like I was under the rain the entire day. No, I don't get overtime because I'm a salary employee. So it's expected. I mean, they pay me a lot of money, but like it's expected for me, like to work more than 8 hours a day. So like, yesterday I streamed, but after my streaming, I was working on my migration plan. See, that's what I was explaining earlier. And I think I went to bed around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and completely tired. Then I woke up at 6. So my schedule just shifted completely, and my work just shifted completely as well. So, um, and there's a lot of drama. It's not too much the work, it's the drama at work, because everybody now is basically like the technical people are blaming the business team, and then it's like this political game between the business team and the technical team, and it's like nobody wants to be held accountable for whatever failure they're going through right now, and it's just a big mess. I am basically spending my time and all of my energy in meetings trying to reconcile, or even trying to, um, make sure that everybody's on the same page, and, like trying to ease everybody. And it's just, like it's tiring. It's not, like I said, it's not work, it's people's energy. So I'm basically drained. Oh, it's a headache. So that's my life lately. So yes, I will be streaming only Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I think those are like good days. And then the rest of the time I would be like, yeah. No, they are on edge actually. Because, and this is the thing, like since that data migration failure, now we're basically trying to like reallocate all of our resources. And now they're basically being, um, they are busy working on different projects. And because of that, now, like our projects are being delayed. So it's a big mess. And you know how engineers, I mean, you know how technical people, they don't like to deal with stuff like this. They are not chilling. They are crying, actually. I wish. No, but, no, that's not what we, no, no, we have multiple projects. It's just that, okay, so my company was paying for two different database, I mean, two different environments. And we had, like I mean, we had the same users in those two different, like environments. Yes, we were basically like the same user was logging in one database, and then for other things like taking courses and stuff like that, they had to log in on another database. So what we try to do here is we're trying to move the data from that one database to basically like to move it to another database. And that would be like the one central location that they would basically go to. The problem is that the business team, I mean, I would say the managers that were like managing this effort didn't know anything about project management. They didn't follow anything. I mean, there's so many things that went wrong. Yes, and the vendor didn't get paid. So that's the other thing. They forgot to pay the vendor. So it was just like, I mean, the PM that was there before got fired. Vendor was not happy. The last thing you want is, if you have a vendor, you need to pay your freaking vendor. They went through like a financial mess, and then they just like, Layla, come here. So we're assigning you on this effort, and if it's not going well, then I'm going to be the one who's going to be blamed for. So, and I definitely don't want to be blamed for it. So, and I have a good relationship with the IT team. So, the migration, they are already doing it. They are doing the iteration 1, which is like the practice migration, because we're going live in December, but they are already working on it. The thing is, like, I have to clean all of that management mess. And I kind of need to basically bring in like the vendor back, for it. So it's just a mess. It's always those damn users. Careful though, you funny. Yeah, yeah, IV3, that's what it is. That's what it is, like you just have to simplify the software. And I mean, you don't merge the two. The only thing that they have to do is just move the data as it is to another database. That's the only thing they have to do. And as far as the IT team, they are okay with it. That's not the problem. But it's more like the management, it's more the higher ups, the stakeholders, and all of these people who don't quite get it, and that's what I was explaining, like when I start streaming about this disconnect between IT people and the business team. They just don't get it. Exactly. It shouldn't be a problem. It should have never been an issue, quite frankly. Never. In the meantime, those IT resources that we have now have more things on their plate, and some other work are not being done. And then, like we kind of have to prioritize everything now, and our projects are just getting delayed. I think, like I'm not going to blame one specific person. The IT people, they don't know anything about project management. Exactly. IV3, exactly. I think there's too many people that are involved. I think there was a lot of miscommunication. I found out that people were not meeting in regular basis. They didn't hold any meetings. I'm gonna blame Thomas. That's his fault. Well, guess what? I was working on, the old PM who was writing the data migration plan. You know, um, First of all, that plan was trash. I'm completely honest with you. Second of all, they basically put a paragraph about migration design, and there's no design, you know? It was just like, huh? We're just moving the data as it is to the new data, to the database. I mean, there's nothing crazy there, but every day I found stuff. I found new stuff every day. Or Personify 360. So we have what we call, I mean, the company that I work for, they have, you know, they have their, okay, so the company that I work for, they have their own I don't know if you're familiar with that personified database. Are you guys? Do you know? It's called Personified 360. Average pay for the IT guys. Um, some of them make 230K, but they're extremely senior and um, yeah, 230 a year. Personified 360. So you guys never heard of the database? It's backed by Oracle. CRM, CRM. There you go. It's here. That's the one. Yep. So that's what they're using. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not joking. If you look at salary of average salary in Washington D.C., they are, but again, I don't want to basically sound like, it's extremely true. I mean, Redog can tell you, I'm not lying. Napcat's boring. What's boring? Um, you can make a lot of money here in DC, only like I said, because there's clearances that are involved. So, but I've seen people working in the commercial, like for corporates who also makes a lot of money. I mean, like I think the minimum salary for an IT person is 150. Sysadmin makes 130. Redog, can I ask you how much you make? Or is that of a too personal question? Crawford, of course. You need definitely. I mean, here is minimum 150. I mean, a sysadmin with like some experience, I would say 2 or 3 years experience, will make already 130, 140, 150. Well, the government, okay, so a government SES Redog makes, around 150 or 180, around there, plus you said bonus plus stock. Um, how much a government SES makes here? Let's see. Well, it depends, Redog, where you're at as well in DC. Yeah, see, there you go. See the pay scale GS15. GS15, you start already at 131, and you can be a GS15 uh, at 30. You can already be in the government, making already 130,000 K, 130K, sorry. And then with few years experience, see, like that's what I'm saying. Like they run between 150, 150, 160. So yeah. Which one was GS9 step one? Where did you see that? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely like entry level. Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of people moved to DC though. I mean, I remember when I moved in 2006 from France, I mean, there was not that many people in DC, quite frankly. I mean, the demand was way much higher for work. Yeah, no, I mean, Napcats, I know, but see, like the thing is, you have to look at it as everybody now is going, is trying to automate everything. They're trying, it's technology. So, and like I said, the rarest, like skills you have, like the better it is because, like I said, you can go to a company and be like, dude, I know how to do X, Y, and Z. I know you need it, and that's how much money I want. And they will bow to you. They will give it to you. I'm not kidding. Redog can confirm that. Yeah, IT people in DC makes the most money. I mean, IT and I would say doctors, but I mean, listen. Yeah, degrees, they don't care if you have a degree. That's what we were talking, Crawford. Though remember when I first started streaming, I was telling you that a lot of people here, like they just basically self-learned how to code and stuff. And now they're basically making a shitload of money. As long as you can do the work. I mean, here is because this is the thing. A lot of companies are being created here in DC. So let me just put it this way. You know how the old school people, you have to wear a tie and wear, a suit and go to work and behave in a certain way, and you're not allowed to work from home and all of that, um, old school nonsense. Well, since Silicon Valley and all of those, like big companies where the Google type of, like culture, where, like, oh, just go work 12 hours a day. We'll provide you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Exactly. So, and then we're going to take care of your laundry. We're going to do all of those things. You're going to have all of those perks at work. You can go to work in flip-flops. They don't give a shit. I mean, they literally don't give a shit. They don't care how the way, I mean, as long as you showered and you smell fine, I would basically say that you can pretty much go to work wearing, yeah, I mean, you know what? One time I went to work, and I'm not lying, I was working for DHS. And in the building, I was in the elevator with a group of girls. Trust me, believe me, like they were wearing PJs. That Friday, they had 1 day a week where they were wearing PJs. They were all wearing, like, pretty much their PJs. And I was shocked. I was like, what the hell is going on here? So, and it started to happen. I mean, like, things are changing. So, they literally don't give a shit now how the way you dress because they just figure out that that's not important. Yes, at DHS, Redog, at DHS, once a day. I don't know why they came up with this concept. What was the reason? It was just amazing to me to see those girls in the elevator with their badges, and that entire building was owned by DHS. It was no other, companies or corporation being there. I mean, like there was like all were for DHS. So I just didn't know why they were wearing, but they came at work with their PJs. Exactly. So they figured that out. They were like, okay, now we don't really give a shit if you're wearing a tie or suit. That's really not important unless you're in front of the client. That's a whole nother story. But now, like the thing in DC is that there's the government who needs contractors. Trump freezed the hiring in the government. So nobody can hire anybody anymore. You cannot become a Fed anymore. So what they do, they hire those, companies that comes in, do the work for 1 year, 2 years, and then they go out. And the billable rate is high. That's what I was saying. They basically are willing to pay up to probably, redog, what is the billable rate per hour? Let's just say for an IT person. I know for project managers, it can go to as high as 150 an hour. But then, well, as a junior dev, why not? As a junior dev, how much is the billable rate in DC? So for 1, 2 years, you are able to basically make a lot of money. But then the downside of, is that you're always constantly looking for jobs. Like you're going to have a contract for 2 years, and then after 2 years, the last 6 months, you kind of need to focus on what you're going to be doing next. And that is the downside of, Washington, D.C. and work. And you don't have the stability that you probably will get where you are. But in the meantime, you have enough money, so you can save your money just in case and then look for something else. But there's always jobs. And as long as you have the experience, then you're pretty much okay. Yeah. Yeah, the billable rate are high. Now, as a senior dev, I know through my, experience at work when we were hiring, I know that some of them can go to 250 to almost 400 an hour. But again, you have to keep in mind that the company needs to take their cut, and then they need to give the other cut to the employee. So, and of course, like they have benefit and all of that. Now, if you don't want the benefit because your spouse or whatever probably gets, like health benefit and all of that, then you have more money because you can negotiate that. You can be like, you know what? I don't want your benefit. I don't care. I want 20K more in my salary. That's a possibility. Well, that's capitalism. I mean, it is. It is probably. I mean, listen, I don't mind, like that type of capitalism where, like everybody is winning in a way. I mean, you obviously are making way more money than for somebody like me who came from France, where, like quite frankly, I think, like the highest salary you can make per month is probably 1,200, and I'm not even kidding. It's 1,200, between 1,200 and 1,500 a month, and that is, like I would say, the common salary of a French person. Now, if you're a doctor or an engineer in France makes 2,500 a month, $3,000, 3,000 euros a month. So it's really not that much if you really think about it. A doctor makes 5,000 euros a month. It's still not that much either. So I'm okay with, United States billing the government for X, Y, and Z to be done, and I can make as much money as, a doctor or an engineer or whatever. That's very true, Redog. They penalize them. New Beach, thank you very much. Here, Arkansas, North America, how are you doing? Angry Moose on the Loose, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you for a while. Python is your main. I'm learning Python right now. Oh, you like the new look? Oh, I look like a big mess. That's what I was saying yesterday. You guys seem to really like it. I really, that's my hairdo when I don't want to do my hair. I know. See? I do. It's true. I do look like a snake. I know. A Python learning Python. I have better graphic than I will like you. Here. A heart. Angry moose on the loose. Hearts. Kisses. Mwah. 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 There you go. I'm liking you. No, actually, I was not going for the Python look. It's just, it was a dress that was in style last year. And I woke up this morning and I took my shower and I was in front of my closet. I was like, oh, what would look good today to go to work? And I said, well, how about this dress? And that was it. Look at my hair. It's a mess. I really do like do I like that? Do I look more like, I do look like a snake. That's right. It's very true. I really do. But, hold, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, guys, like if those are my fur. Oh, it looks good. 425. Oh, you in Europe, newbie. So where are you in Europe? Where? I did it. Look at this. That's actually Mongolian. I have two of them. I have another one. Oh, Czech Republic. Oh, cool. Any favorite environment? Not really. No, I'm not. I'm not a crazy. That's not real. It's not. I'm in Texas. I'm Texan. What's PETA? I mean, PETA are the people who try to defend the animal rights, and they're going after people who likes to buy real fur. Who they think that, I mean, they think I. This is the thing. My take on animals is this one. God created us with canine teeth. There's a reason why we have canine teeth, I believe in God. So I believe that, as a human being, We need meat to survive. So that's one thing. Eating chicken, beef, well, some people will say, well, those animals suffer. We don't need to. It's a good point. I'm not going to argue that. Nowadays, I think, um, we can definitely. Uh, no, I don't. No, listen, I'm not like that. I really don't think that, the vegetarian people or the vegan, they have very good point. I mean, nowadays we can definitely replace the meat with, when if you need protein, there's a lot of ways to get your protein. I mean, it's not like in the past when, people, just were just eating animals to get their protein and get their fix. Um, they have very good point. Do I think that they are overboard about things? Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, everybody is free to to decide if they want to go vegan or vegetarian or if they decide to eat meat. Now, of course, like fish, chicken, beef, venison, uh, things like that. Fine. Now, what I don't agree is we're talking about the python, we're talking about, crocodile and all of those poor animals that we try to, kill to sell luxury goods. That I have a problem with. That I agree. It's not right. Because Hermes, actually the brand Hermes, like the brand for bags, the Birkin and all of that stuff that costs like 20, $50,000 a purse. Um, like they actually abuse. I read an article where they were actually abusing crocodile um, to basically to sell their skin. No, because look, it napkins. You can't. Oh yeah, I forgot napkins. You're vegetarian, so okay. So no, I don't agree with that statement, napkins, because there's a big difference between someone eating chicken and it's survival mode. You know, Um you have to eat meat for you to survive or to be healthy in some ways. It's not luxury goods, you know. Now, the way they handle those animals to, like, yes, they're probably doing it in a way that they make them also suffer. I mean, I've seen documentary and it's just sad and scary and crazy. I understand that. But it's completely different than going after a crocodile or, whatever animals is out there that I would not even eat. I mean, I don't eat crocodile. I don't eat snake. I don't eat, like if it's for eating, it's not luxury goods. See, like I will not go and buy a 20,000, like python purse, for example. I think this is nuts. I already think that this is nuts to buy a $2,000 purse from Chanel, but a leather skin purse or like a python purse or crocodile purse, it's crazy to me. You admitted earlier that you could get your protein from vegetable sources. Well, this is true. However, if you're allergic, because see, you tend to forget about those things. There's like with this girl one time who was talking about, being, allergic to certain food that she couldn't eat, and she was actually trying to go vegan because, like she didn't want to eat meat, but at the same time, like the protein that, like she was not getting her fix with the poor protein diet that she had. And the other rest of the protein that were like, she gonna eat it because she was allergic to it. And some people, they probably just don't like it. So, hey, 258. No, it's not. It's not. It's not, actually. It would be extremely expensive if that was the case, but it's not. I'm not a vitamin believer, quite frankly. I think your body cannot absorb, when I was in Japan, I always take 1,000, milligram of vitamin C because that's, what is required for you to stay healthy. I mean, to keep your immune system up, right? So, and I went to this pharmacy in Japan, and I was talking to this Japanese. I think if you have to be a pharmacist in Japan, I believe you have to go through med school or something too. Uh, but anyway, he was telling me that I asked him for 1,000 milligram, and he said you should never take 1,000 milligram in one time because your body will not absorb it. So you have to kind of take it, like in few throughout the day. Well, Napcats, I really don't know if that's, like a small case, quite frankly. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I myself, like never really had any allergies in my life until I came in this country and I started eating certain type of food. And I started to like feeling, like I've started having allergies. And now I'm basically like taking prescriptions from the doctor for certain, like things because I'm allergic to it. So I don't think it's true. I think, like our food is completely poisoned. I agree with what Arkansas, North America was saying about, certain vegan products are also very cancerous. So, don't sue Napcats. No, I will not sue you. But what I'm trying to say here is this. I will understand the fight for animal rights when it comes to luxury goods. I think this is nonsense. This is not okay. This is, completely wrong. Honestly, we're not cave people anymore that we need to go and kill animals to wear their fur and stuff like that. We really don't have to do it anymore. So I think your animals should be left alone. However, when it comes to food, it's a whole nother story. I think humans are the priority. I think, like if I have to kill a cow to save a child or to save a person, I will not have any problem to sacrifice a cow to save a human being. That's just what I'm saying. Now, I respect vegetarian people, I respect vegan, but I think sometimes they very much go overboard with people, and sometimes they can be nasty. And that's what I'm not okay with. When you start being nasty because you're trying to defend your idea or you're trying to defend because you think it's right. So you're nasty with the other person who doesn't agree with you, and I'm not okay with that. I agree. IV3. See, for example, B12 vitamin, B6 vitamin, I am allergic to it. Every time I take some, I break out like crazy. I found out from my dermatologist. No, it's fake. It's not, and this is the thing. Like, you don't have to wear real things. That's what I'm saying. Like, nowadays it's okay to wear fake stuff as long as you're not harming people just to show off and make it a status. Look, I have money. I can afford a 20,000, like mink coat or, I mean, you see what I'm trying to say? So it's not, like, even if you're wearing like fake, a snake print, I don't care. Leopard, zebra, whatever you like, it's fine. I mean, fur, fake fur. Fake Prada, why not? I mean, who cares? Listen, like, who's gonna know? I mean, who's gonna know your Prada are fake? Only yourself. If I see you with fake Prada nowadays, they are doing so many good fake stuff that I will not even care. And quite frankly, like, the joke will be on me if I buy real Prada, because I will have spent $700 in a pair of real Prada when you will have probably spent $20, and they look pretty much the same. So yeah, napkins, I agree. You can only fool yourself. I completely agree with you. And there's some others people, like, there are animal lovers. I mean, like, they just love to eat meat. I mean, and you have to respect that as well. Like, there's farmers who, I don't think like chasing, with a gun and killing is better than, if you have to kill an animal, it is what it is. I mean, in the jungle, if you're not going to do it, the lions will do it. I mean, if you go to Africa, that's what they do. They chase to survive. If you go to the sea and you meet a shark, I can assure you that something will probably happen to you. And that's just, like, the nature of it. It is what it is. Oh, wow. Cheapo, steel toe boots. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess guys are like, you guys just need to be rich and successful. Girls need to be pretty. That's just, the reality of things. Like, um, you guys are visual. You just need pretty girls. And girls, they just need successful guys. And that's it. So for girls, being pretty requires money and requires a lot of shopping and, makeup and getting your hair done and, accessories and all of that. What? Angry Moose to lose? What? Why is it harsh? Holy banana. Well, I mean, it's true though. You guys, listen, when people are saying you're a gold digger, I mean, I'm not talking about me because I don't need to gold dig anybody. You know, I'm okay on my own. Like, I make enough money to pay for my own stuff. But when women, like, say, oh, she's just a gold digger, or there's nothing such of gold digging. The reality is that if you're pretty and you're going to basically go with a guy, I can assure you that the guy is going to have money, because as women, we are attracted to success. It's, of course, the bank account matters, but what we're attracted to is the idea of being with somebody who's extremely smart, successful, and we feel secure and we feel proud. And, I don't care about feminists. I really don't. I'm not a feminist person. If you really want my point of view, I am one of those type of women that think that the president should never be a woman. I am completely honest with you. I don't agree with people saying that women are equal to men. I don't think so. We're not equal to you guys, because I take in consideration the biology. that a woman is made differently than a man, and our strength is different. So trust me. Why are you afraid? Hungry moose on the loose. Um, no, I'm not old school. It has nothing to do with being old school. Now you have to prove to me how a woman can be equal to a man. You really, really need to prove that to me. I am waiting for your arguments, guys. I can debate that. And trust me, I have debated this subject many times. I'm really, really, really not old school. It has nothing to do with being old school or, like I said, it's not about that. I just believe that, we are made differently. No, it's not true. We can be good leaders. That's very true. I mean, like, listen, I am not going to, argue the fact that a woman can be a good leader. What I'm saying is, but women are crazy. You have to take behind women who are leaders. Don't ever think. Listen to me. The president doesn't run the country by herself. It's a team effort. She has people around her advising her on what to do. And she's just going to pick what makes more sense to her or him. Women are built in such a way that at certain time of the month, she can go cuckoo. I'm completely honest with you. It was biologically proven that women hormones makes you behave in a certain way. There's some women that kill under what we call I'm not going to say PMS, it has another word for it. But because before a woman's cycle, our hormones, like gets so high that we are not, I will say that during that time, we are unstable. Men don't have those type of things happening to them. They are very much, steady the entire time. They're very much flat the entire month, when women we're not. And that's the other thing, Ivy. Men tends to think more logically when women were like very emotional about things. See, I am a PM as well. I consider myself being a leader, but it has everything to do with a team effort. I'm going to use that, like strength of mind, like to do X, Y, and Z. But as me, as myself, I'm not going to be able to handle everything if I don't have a team around me who's going to advise me, who's going to help me, who's going, see, it's not the same. Hey, Skiffius, how are you doing? Napcats, I don't agree. That's not our nature. Our nature is this. We think emotion, we are emotion human beings. See, and women, the brain of a woman, we tend to multitask. That's what we do. We basically touch pretty much everything during the day. We can read a book and at the same time talk on the phone and, like do other things. When a man is very simple, he will only do one thing at the time, but he will focus 100% on that one particular thing. Women, we don't do that. Women, we are all over the place. We can never give our 100% focus on one single thing. You have to also keep that into consideration. What I'm saying here is that biologically, we're not the same. We are made differently. And based on that, I cannot say that women are equal to men because of that little component. No, I mean, listen, it's the debate is not about, like lowering the woman to, I am a woman, okay? It has nothing to do with, but I'm a woman. I can vouch for that. I mean, um, I just don't think that, like a woman emotionally, like has the backbone of a man. I don't think so. We don't have, like the guts or it's just not in our nature. I'm sorry. And I'm not talking about those two or three particular cases that we probably have around the world. Those cases are not the majority of the women. What I'm saying is that the majority of the women, based on that particular component, doesn't make us equal to men, period. I am not saying that women should be submissive. I'm not saying that, like we don't have a brain, that we can think or we can do X, Y, and Z. That's not true because women can definitely, raise kids without a man and work and provide and do all of those amazing things around the world without, like having the presence of a man. But what I'm saying is that we're not equally, like even the strength, we don't have the same strength than a man. I mean, you can't argue that. So it sounds like my facts are just fiction. What do you mean? Huh? No, I said women are emotional. That's what I'm saying. We are emotional human beings. We are very emotional. But see, like, this is the type of things that, see, the difference between me and you guys is that I look at the big picture. I don't go and look at the feminism people that, you know, protest outside and be like, no, we have equal rights. Of course we have equal rights. Thank God that we do. But I can't, because we are human beings before being genders. So we need equal rights. That's a given. But as far as, like being equal to a man, it's not true. How many people have you heard saying, oh, this man is beating a woman? He's not a man. What does that imply? You need to, see, you kind of are implying that a woman is weaker than a man. So therefore, like you're not believing that a woman is equal to a man in strength, right? Would you agree with that? I am just saying that, that's what I believe. Biologically, we're not made the same, and therefore there is, a imbalance between the man and the woman. Period. That's what I'm saying. I am not insinuating that we should not have any rights or no. It has nothing to do with that. So just to go back to that feminism thing, I think they're going overboard. And look at, like the feminism, group. You know how many feminist friends I have? They hate men. I can assure you that. Most of them are kind of lesbian, but most of them, they hate men. They have a problem with men. Period. Every sentence, every time, they'll make a comment about something, they are always blaming men. So, you can't be like that either. That's just my 2 cents on that. Because all women are emotional, not cats. All women are emotional. I think you need to do some research on, the, biological, the biology of a man and woman, and basically probably read doctor statements and, research that has been done, and all of those things. There was this woman in England who actually killed her husband, and she was actually being known as somebody who was very loving, very, did her personality didn't show any sign of instability, or, and when they studied that person, they found out that every month before her cycle, she was actually acting in a certain way. And when, her child came up, doctors, and trust me, they really studied that person. I think if you Google it, you can find her story, actually. When they studied that person behavior, they found out that, the level of hormones that she had in her body. Now, I'm not saying that women are killers, but what I'm saying is that this amount of hormone that we have before our period. And how many times have you heard from men saying, oh, women are all crazy? They're all crazy. They're crazy. I mean, that is also a statement that you guys make, which is, it's not a stereotype. It's very much true that the first 15 days of the month for a woman, she's pretty much normal and fine because her hormone levels are, steady and they're fine. But when your cycle is coming, you have headaches, you feel like you eat sweet and salty at the same time. You have craving. You feel, swollen. You have all of those symptoms every month that you go through because of your cycle. And psychologically, the psychology, I can say that word. Psychologically, I would say, I think that's probably English. Um, we also feel a certain way. We have anxiety. We, get very irritated. We, like we're in a bad mood. Like if you don't, pop a pampering to kind of calm you down. Like you feel certain. Some women are just more than others. You don't see that in men because men don't have cycles. They don't have their period. So their hormones are very much, flat. They're very much the same throughout the month. So how can you trust a leader, a president to run your country when you know that women go through a lot of hormonal, like changes throughout the month? And I'm not even talking about those women who have menopause, because most of the time, if you want to become a president, you're no longer young anymore. Anyway, so I don't think and I don't believe that emotionally a woman can be a leader. I strongly don't think so. Based on those facts from doctors and that prove that already. So I'm not saying that a woman cannot think logically. That's not true. We are very much logical. You kill someone, you go to jail. So you shouldn't be killing. It's just common sense. And, we can think rationally as well. We can, we are very logical human beings as well, but we are very emotional based on those hormones. Well, men or dogs? Well, my thing on men is that again we are built differently. So it's like this male female thing, like we discussed that I think yesterday. Um, I'm not saying that all men are like, cheaters and, like, but, a man, he's going to chase. That's, he also feels this, his hormones are also, like messing up with him and, he feels the need to relieve himself and, like, that's the same thing. I mean, again, I hope that I'm not being misunderstood because of a language barrier or anything like that. I hope you guys are not offended with what I'm saying. But what I'm just saying here is that, you know, based on medical facts and research, I just don't think that men and women are equal. I really don't think so. Not cats, men on average earn more than women, have more leadership roles. That's very true. It is true. But why? Why? Did you ever like ask yourself why men have more leadership roles than women? Look, I am myself. I don't like to work for women. I'm completely honest with you. I worked for women 2 times. Those 2 times, it was a big fail. Completely. I'd rather prefer to work with the opposite sex because for some reason, the opposite sex just works out. Women should work with men and men should work with women. I think it works out just fine. And why some men are more in the leadership role? Well, it's also because, like at some point, me, I chose not to have kids, for example. So that's a choice. So I don't really have a problem. I'm always that, like single lady that, like, oh, she can work during, like Christmas because, like she doesn't have to take care of the kids or she can stay after hours because, like, however, a woman, he's going to run to basically pick up the children or she's going to, like, her brain, again, is going to be more focused on what's going on at home with her kids or, like, unless you're a careerist person, like me, most of the women, it's just, a reality. They, at some point in their life, they want to become mothers. And when you become a mother, I'm not saying that you're bad at what you're doing, but again, you're going to be able to multitask, but you're not going to be able to focus 100% in one thing like men do. You have to also take this into consideration. See, all of the male person that I worked for, they stayed after hours, they got their work done, they didn't have to like excuses. They are also fathers, they have kids, but they don't worry about that portion because in their brain they're like, oh, my wife will take care of it. So my role is to really like stay at work and get X, Y, and Z done. And quite frankly, like it's a fact. I never really had a problem working with a male and getting his work done that I did with women. Women, they always give you excuses. I need to do this, I need to leave, there's always something. That's just the reality of it. Chat alive, it's dropping here. What do you mean? So anyway, well, we went that deep. I cannot, you know, I think people are not expecting a woman to say those type of things. And see how you get labeled when you have this kind of view. You're labeled as being old school, and I don't think it's fair because it has nothing to do with being old school. Again, I explained why I don't think it's I don't think like that. I mean, you guys have to basically be objective about things. You cannot always be a biased person and, like think in certain way. You have to take both ways into consideration and make your own analysis and your own judgment. I myself, as a woman, I know that for a fact that, I'm built in a certain way. And I know that, during the month, I'm going to have a lot of energy and a lot of stamina. And then the second time of the month, I'm going to be completely drained, tired, and that's because my hormones are changing. So, and I'm not going to have the same impact with in my work than I have at the beginning of the month. And that's just the reality of it. It has nothing to do. It doesn't make me less of a human being or less of being in a disadvantage or or not have rights or not be able to go to school or study or not at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. I don't want people to think that, but I'm not old school. I'm not. Well, yeah, I mean, Nutcats, I think, is a guy. He's not a girl. And I love Nutcats dearly. I mean, it has nothing to do with, him or no. I think, yes, he made it political and, you know, um, again, it has nothing to do with being, like the president of the country. I mean, I would never vote for a woman. I'm completely honest because I do not have this view. Um, And the reality is that, people, when they think of women being in power, they think of the country being weakened. That's the reality. Germany, for example. I was in Berlin back in November because I go to France once a year to visit my family. And I stopped in, Germany for, a few days because I love Germany a lot. And then, like that's basically when I stopped because it's just closer to my home. Um, and I was talking to the Uber driver, and we were talking politics, and we were going back and forth. And I was asking him about the chancellor, and he told me everybody hates her. And of course, I don't care if they hate her. The reason was not because she was a woman, but all of the answers when you talk, it's like, oh, she's not strong. She's a bad president. Like she make us look weak. And I've heard it many, many times. So in a way, they're kind of judging her, like because she's a woman, and they're just not comfortable with the idea of having a woman as being a leader. Um, some women are like that. Some people are like that. Sorry. Yeah, I mean everybody, like you're taking it as responsibility to have kids. Everybody has their own views, and everybody has, and that's what makes the world beautiful because thank God we all have our own way of thinking. Um, of course, like you need kids. Listen, everybody has their own path that they go through, and some people are more luckier than others, and it is what it is. So if you those type of people who decide to have, three, four, five, 10 kids, hey, good for you. But then, don't judge me if I don't have any. It has nothing to do with being selfish. It has nothing. You don't know my past. You don't know why I don't have kids. I might be, like not being able to have kids. It's a possibility too. Or it was because of my own choice. But what I'm saying is that being vegan, it's a choice. Being a vegetarian, it's a choice. Eating meat, it's also a choice. So I don't think people should be slapped on their hand because they're making choices or and for certain things in their life. So that's just what I'm saying. There are some people, they want kids. Yeah, some people want 10, 20, 30, whatever it is. I don't want Napcats to be offended, though. I mean, I wish he didn't leave uh, the chat, because of, um, um, I hope he's mature enough that, like he doesn't need to leave, like a conversation just because people don't have the same views. I respect other people's views, even if you come to me and say, I hate French people or I feel a certain way because of, as long as you're respectful towards me, I don't care. If that's, I don't know why you hate them. Maybe they were nasty to you. Maybe you went to France and you had a very bad experience. Um, I mean, what I'm saying is it's fine. Everybody has the right to feel a certain way. Um, but I don't really want him to be offended or sad about anything. I really don't want to. So Napcat, if you're still around, just come and tell me hello. I give you kisses with a heart. Ah, the chat is on fire. I'm proving I no, I don't think. I think we try to do what's best. Uh, you know, um, but at the same time, I also take in consideration our environment, and there's a lot of things to consider. You can't just basically be someone who has one way view and that's it. I never believed in that. Never. Um, it's not true. If you're gonna have facts, if you want to argue with me, you better have your facts 100% accurate. When I said 100%, they have to be 100% accurate. If they are, 99.999999% not accurate, and there's like this, 0.1 chance, to me, it's already, like a sign that's like, okay, well, probably should look somewhere else as well. And besides this, if we're going back to the president, Hillary was not even one of my choice. I think she was terrible. I didn't vote, and I'm a U.S. citizen now. I voted for Obama the first round. I didn't vote, and I was not cheering for her, neither I was cheering for Trump. And that's the only reason why I didn't vote. And I think, not voting is also a way of saying, I don't like neither of them. Uh, I'm just not going to basically be involved in that nonsense. Um, to me, I think Hillary Clinton is a criminal. I think she did a lot of bad things. I think the email things that happened didn't go well with me. I'm completely honest because I am in DC. I can assure you that if me or you will have done what she did, we will have been banned for life, for clearance, lost our job, and probably will have been jailed. But because her name is Hillary Clinton, so nothing happened to her. And I'm not okay with that. See, that's, like the thing that I didn't stand that. I was just furious about it. Oh, she is. She is. And she has all of those, like ideas about, like, you guys, like as a woman, don't ever think that, like you're less than, what the hell are you talking about? I was born in France. I am a French-born baby and became a U.S. citizen in 2011. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. The fact and the matter is that if it was somebody like me or you, we will have paid the consequences for that. I mean, that's just the reality of it, and I'm not okay with that. It has to be fair for everybody. You make a fuck up, you need to take responsibility for that fuck up. And you need, if you want to show that you're tough and you're a leader and all of that, well, you need to go to court too. And you need to be jailed as well. Then I will take you seriously. But I cannot take a woman seriously if you want to basically like lecture people about how women should be and how this should be, and when you basically chicken your way out when you did a mistake and try to cover up and try to no, I don't agree. And Trump, don't even get me started with this one. I mean, this president is just, is just making us look bad around the world. I mean, we just lost credibility. I mean, I have my French friend who are pretty much looking at me like, are they okay in United States? Like, what's wrong with the people there? I mean, like, they're just like, literally like, they just cannot believe it. They don't even think it's true. They think they're watching a movie or something. No, and I mean, if it was my dream, no, it was not my dream. I think at some point in my life, I had enough. Like when I was in France, I feel like, I went to school and I finished school when I was 26 years old because, like I did law. And then, like I couldn't find a job. I was just like, completely broke. And I was working at a theater. I was basically selling popcorn, candy, making coffees, sandwiches, and I was just couldn't believe it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm 26, and now I'm basically like just selling popcorns, and like I cannot find anything. And I was like, what the hell is this country? And I just felt that I was you know pretty much stuck. I mean, I could see my future just by looking at people. Let's put it this way. I was just like, okay, if I stay here in this country, I'm going to end up like, this person who's in food stamp probably because she has 10 kids and, like France is a socialist country. So they probably don't pay you. I mean, they don't pay you every month that much money. However, your housing is pretty much almost free. The government pay you per kid. Like if you have 3 kids, well, they give you a lot of money, so you don't really have to work. Um, and then like you pretty much like live under government's will. Let's put it this way. So I'm like, so yeah, I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. I just couldn't see myself, like being like that. So I was like, okay. I actually applied for a job in Ireland. I applied for a job in Switzerland, and I applied for a job in United States. So that's what happened. So I got accepted to the 3 of them. My start date in Switzerland was during the summer, and I applied for jobs around March time frame. So they said, yes, you can come in, but your start date will be in the summer. So I was like, I did have time. So I kept on applying. Then I received a phone call from Ireland. Um, and they say, yes, we're like, like we will be very happy to have you. But the job will start, like actually beginning of June. So, and then United States, replied back to me, and they said yes. We are. They offered me the position, and they were like, oh, we have to start the visa process. And I was like, okay, why not? So I started the visa process, and I was not really thinking too much of it, quite frankly. I was just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do it, and then if it works out, that's great. If not, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was thinking that at some point I will run into a situation or an issue or whatever that will have said, no, we cannot give you the visa or whatever. So anyway, everything went smoothly. I mean, it was complete. It was unbelievable. 2 weeks later, got my visa done, plane ticket, everything was done. Like they were basically like faster than even Ireland. Like I received the visa and everything when Ireland didn't even like send me the offer letter at that time. So that was it. My parents said, okay, well, it seems like, United States is meant to be. Just go. So that's why, like I came here. No, no, it was not, like the thing is like I had some experience after I worked at a police station because I was pursuing, okay, France is different than United States. I wanted to become like a prosecutor. Um, so prosecutors actually are, some of them work at court. They have an office in the court, and some of them are also working at police stations. That's where they have an office as well. It depends really where you are, but most of the time they work both. They have two offices in both, like, and then they conduct investigation with police officers and all of that. So, and they are the ones that sign off on, a lot of stuff. I didn't really have a good experience when I was at the police station, quite frankly. So I just didn't want to do that. And when you finish school in France, you still have to go and pass the bar. I was just completely drained, completely, tired. I was 26. I was broke. I wanted to make money. And at that time, it was not about me becoming a millionaire because I never really dreamed to be a millionaire. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't come from a rich family to begin with. We have 7 children. So, it's my parents, I mean, I come from a modest family. My parents were not poor and they were not rich either. We were just, like getting by and, it was just the right amount of food, right amount of money. It was never, like crazy in my household. So when I was 26 years old, of course, like I just wanted to start working and make money and, start my life a little bit and have fun a little bit. So I think that's where I was kind of impatient a little bit. So working at the theater, I was like, oh my God, it was just scary. So those are the reason why, like I decided, and I kind of wanted to see a little bit of something else and see. So when I came in the US, the idea at the beginning was to come here for 18 months. I'd never expected to stay. Quite frankly, it was just like a visa for 18 months. And then I stayed, that was it, like I found my job and, I stayed in 2011. I got my U.S. citizenship, and United States became my adoptive, country. And I really, really liked it here. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Regardless of, it's a hard country to be in. I'm not going to lie. It's very hard to live in the United States, but I think if you're a hard worker and like, I think you can make it work for you here. I believe that. No, I was living with my parents. I mean, besides my master, when I went for my master, I was actually in another city. So I was living on my own. But then when I finished my master, I went back to my parents' house. I mean, I just couldn't afford to live separately. In France, school is full time. If you go full time, yes, it's free. Education is free in France. It's not like the US where you have to pay 40, 50, 60,000 a year to go to a good school. We have great school in France. All of them are great. They are free. It doesn't matter where you end up, but it's full time, and you have homework on top of everything, and you have internship. So you are extremely, extremely, extremely busy. So you pretty much don't really have room to work. I mean, if you work and make money, I don't think you're going to be able to focus on your studies because at some point you get extremely tired. And when you study, you can't afford to be tired. You have to study and study and study. So there's a lot of poor students in France. Like when I was in college, I went to school with. I mean, I had a lot of like students that would go to my parents' house and eat with me for dinners and stuff like that because I knew they didn't have money or didn't have much to eat. I remember this girl, beautiful girl, gorgeous girl, actually, very nice. Um, Her cereal was actually her lifesavers. I mean, that was the only thing she could afford at that time. She couldn't afford anything else to eat. So it's hard. I mean, it's not easy, but make it through. So you have to live with your family. That's the only way for you to be successful. No, I don't think you should be feeling bad, quite frankly. Don't, they were saying there was a study in France. Exactly. Like I'm going to be newbie. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think, like there's this study in Europe, and you from Europe, right? You Czech Republic. So, and you've probably heard of that study that says that, the new, now before in our during our parents' time, like our parents used to leave the household around 16 years old, 18 years old. That's where, like they were mature, they were like working and already being married, and, like, but, even when I was in my 20s, they were saying that it was already hard for us to leave our household at 18 years old because the time is just completely different. If you want to be successful, it's very expensive out there. If you're not working, I mean, if I had kids, I would definitely keep my kids at home as long as they are in school and they're studying and they're straight A students. I will not have a problem with that. I'm completely honest with you. If that's like the help that I can provide for them to be successful and not have that much debt and not experience hunger and like things like that, I would definitely do it. Exactly. And it makes you appreciate, like appreciate your family more. And I think it's very important also to spend a lot of time with your family. So I'm completely honest. Don't feel bad. If you're still in school, stay in school, study, don't play around. That's the other thing. Like I said, I could have worked, like when I was in college. I chose not to. My parents didn't force me to work because I needed to focus on my studies. But, like just get yourself, like a degree or whatever you're studying, and then like you will be grateful, like in the future you will see. But don't feel bad. Uh, you just checked Angry Moose on the loose, like you check where Europe, because I know it was on the rise. Now, I don't know for you newbie, like in Czech Republic, how the way it is for you, because in France, because we have all of those extra help from the government, like I said, like education is free, housing, you can, go through a program, that like will provide you with housing and all of that, but still like it's still not enough for you to survive. It's still better than nothing. But I know that in France they do have now programs for like young students, and like they even help them with a little bit of money if you're student, to kind of pass by. I mean, to buy your groceries and stuff. But it's still not enough. Trust me. I, went through, like when I was living on my own for my master. I was in charge with, like if I was taken care of by, via a program for students. Like they were providing me, if I remember, like 400 a month or something to buy groceries and stuff like that. But the housing was still on me. I mean, my parents were still paying, I think I remember 299 or 300 for my rent. Um, so every month, I mean, you guys are going to say, oh, it's not much, but for a family who makes, like I said, the salaries in Europe are completely different than United States. They make, like between 1,200 or 1,500 a month. That's pretty much the common salary in Europe. I mean, in France. So, it's still not much. Yeah, true. Yeah, 17.3. Yeah, look at that. Look at this. Yeah. England, 14.4%. Yeah. Yeah, 33.7. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it can be like, it can be challenging. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with being, like broke. I mean, when like, that there's other streams that I was watching. I mean, we were talking about, uh, would you go back to your 20s? Like, your 20s, I mean, you're young, you look beautiful, like your hair is great, like you like have this great body. I mean, but you broke. I mean, see, like to me, when I think of my 20s, I think of that. I think of, I was great, I felt great, I felt beautiful, I felt, like, I was on top of the world. But then I didn't have money. So I didn't have the money to pay for those beautiful clothes. I didn't have money to have fun. And I'm serious. So do I want to go back to my 20s? Hell no. I'm okay with being 40 and, like old, but financially I'm better. I can still go and afford clothes and stuff. And I mean, the reality is that when you're in your 20s, I mean, oh, thank you, Ingrid Moose. But what I'm saying is that when you're in your 20s, yes, you have the stamina, you have, like all of that, but you broke. And that's okay. It's okay. Trust me, it's okay. It's fine. Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm 40 years old, by the way. Thank you so much. Mwah. That's very nice of you. But yeah, I mean, that's why don't feel bad. Please don't do. Don't feel bad at all. And all of the people that are watching me, they're like in their 20s and they feel broken. It's normal to go through that. It's normal and it's okay. It's gonna get better. If you work hard, it's gonna get better. Do I have someone? following me? I didn't see it. Roadstar. Roadstar, thanks for the follow. But anyway, yeah, so that's the only thing that, we had the big conversation. I was not expecting, like at 9:30, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna stay 5 minutes, and I'm just gonna go. Then we just started this big debate about, animal fur and being a vegan, vegetarian, and then talking about me in Europe and all of that. So yeah. It's actually 11:30. It was very, very nice talking to you guys. Thank you very much for the people who just joined and followed. Uh, People who came again, like, to thank you very much. Like I said, because of work, I have it's kind of, like a load of, I have a lot of work lately. So I'm going to be streaming only Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So 3 times a week. I will change my panel and I will definitely let you know when I will be streaming. Thank you very much for staying with me that late, listening to me, for all of the compliments. It makes me feel good. Even if you don't mean it, that's okay. I'll take it anyway. Mwah. Give you hearts. And I will talk to you later, guys, girls. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Have a great week. See you Thursday. Bye.